everybody has an angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. It's whispering what we should and what we shouldn't do in life, whether that be what actions we should take or what we think about ourselves. Now, my name is Alexis, and in today's video, I want to go ahead and dive into increasing that angel and increasing how you can positively speak to yourself, how you can feel good about yourself, and how to make the quote-unquote right decisions in order to lead your life. Now, I'm going to do this in 4 steps, or just give you 4 tips on how to kind of increase this angel on your shoulder. Now, if I were to really break this down, the angel and the devil is really just the positive self-talk and the negative self-talk. Now, if we were to break down what self-talk is, that is the inner dialogue that happens in your head. So it's that little voice in the side of your head just whispering you and overthinking everything and telling you, oh, like, that was dumb. Oh, this is stupid. Oh, you're stupid. Oh, blah, 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 blah. It's that little tiny voice, that little gnat. Or if you see a lot of like the TV shows and the cartoons and everything, it's like the little angel and devil kind of fighting with each other on your shoulders. So with self-talk, if it's repeated enough, it starts to become a fact. And then from that fact, it turns into a belief. It doesn't matter if it's fact or not. It doesn't matter if it's actually true or not. Once you tell yourself something so much and so often, you start to begin to believe it, no matter what it is. So if you've gone 5-ish years, maybe even longer, 5-10 years, repeating the same self-deprecating phrases like, oh, I'm stupid, oh, I'll never amount to anything, oh, like, bad things always happen to me, yada, 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 like, the list goes on and on, you build up this negative self-talk that you soon believe. Like, you believe that you're, like, a piece of crap. You believe that you're a bum. You believe that you're not going to amount to anything because people started to tell you, or you had that thought once, and you just kept thinking that until it became a belief in and of yourself. So, in order to combat that, the first step I want to dive into is going to be aware of the negative triggers. So what happens before you start speaking negatively to yourself? Is there a situation where you embarrassed yourself? Let's say you were trying to talk to somebody you were interested in and you were either rambling on for too much or you couldn't even like go up to them, or when you did, like, no words came out and they're like, oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I don't know how to talk to women. I don't know how to talk to men. I just can't communicate with them. I don't know how to speak to them. Right? So then you start to believe, like, I can't speak to them. I can't do this. I can't do that. So what was that negative trigger? Was it going up to the person, or was it the act of not being able to say any of those words? If we were to also do another scenario of, say you feel a little bit overweight, you want to start going to the gym, or you want to put on muscle and you want to start going to the gym, and you rarely ever make it to the gym. You plan on it and then you don't do it. You can start saying, like, oh, like, I never do what I say I want to do. I'm lazy, I'm not driven, whatever the case may be, you start making those negative associations. So was that negative trigger you not going to the gym? Was the negative trigger maybe you getting ready for the gym and then not going? So I guess it's just not going to the gym. So figure out what that negative trigger is before you start saying those negative things to yourself. Once you figure that out, you're able to kind of pinpoint, and you can kind of change the trajectory of the negative talk, which leads me into the second point, which is how to reconstruct the negative thoughts in a new way, right? So let's take the gym instance. So you get ready for the gym, and then something comes up, and it's not like an emergency or anything, and you're like, oh, like, I missed the time. You can stop and you could say, I missed the gym this time. Am I able to do something else more productive in return, or do another activity, or can I go to the gym later today? You could you want to be able to kind of speak to yourself a little bit nicer, or maybe today I was not able to do this, so tomorrow I'm going to set an alarm to give me extra time to be prepared and to get ready and leave for the gym. So this isn't an excuse. You want to be able to act on these as well. If you just keep falsely doing this, it's going to be counterproductive almost. But in order to kind of change the way you speak to yourself. Like, today I wasn't able to do this, so tomorrow I'm going to give myself extra time in order to achieve this goal or to achieve this action, right? And the third tip I want to dive into is going to be surround yourself with people that are positive people, right? If you become the product of the 5 most people that you're surrounded with. So if you're only around people that are only like self-deprecating themselves, or if they dog or are mean to other people and they point out their insecurities, that's not the type of people you want to hang around. You're gonna be influenced by that as a byproduct, whether you say those things or you start thinking those things yourself. So, and also when you're surrounded by positive people, they're usually, again, not negative. So it almost kind of like pulls you out of that hole that you're in, right? They're making a little ladder and they're reaching in for you. So it's easier to kind of believe and start thinking that, oh, like, maybe I can do some things. Maybe I'm able to speak to people that actually enjoy speaking to me. It's like these tiny little steps that help you build that foundation in order to move up. And the last and final tip I want to leave you guys with is going to be journal. And for you, journaling helps with a lot of things, right? It's able to get into your mind and kind of pick at it and then see where you're at and then be able to kind of make a roadmap from then. So with journaling, I want you guys to, every morning, before you get up, before you check your phone, before you play any music, before you do anything, as soon as you wake up, before you brush your teeth, right? Nobody's speaking to you. And if they're sleeping in your bed, then you can keep morning breath for 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. You can speak to them from afar. But what I want you to do is I want you to write 3 things that you want today if you can have them. They could be super extraordinary. They could be very minimal, right? It could be, I want to cook 1 meal for me today. I want to cook 1 home cooked meal for me today. I want to make $1,000. I want to be able to speak to my crush, right? These can be 3 things that you would like to happen today, that you want to happen today. It doesn't matter if they happen today, right? It's going to be really hard to figure out how to make $1,000 in one day legally. So by doing this, it brings what you want up to the surface, right? It's something that you're thinking about and you're actively writing down. They say when you write things down, your brain tends to remember them at a much higher rate than either thinking it or speaking it, right? It's ingrained a little bit more. And by figuring out what you want, a lot of the times when we're in these situations of negative self-talk or in a very like self-deprecating stance, you tend to not even know who you are, right? Because it's all of these false, these negative phrases that you've been telling yourself that you're starting to believe, and that's not really who you are. So, and it doesn't have to be who you are, right? Everybody has room to change. But by writing these down, you're able to kind of figure out who you are. What do you want? What do you like? And it gives you something to work towards, even if you don't accomplish it in the day. So you're able to kind of slowly build up this thought process to where, like, I'm focused on achieving these goals and achieving what I want, instead of me thinking about, like, oh, like, I'm just lazy. I can't do this. I can't do that. Like, I'll never amount to anything. And this takes time, obviously, and time to kind of build up this muscle. So, sorry, excuse me. But it slowly does start to work. And the next thing that I want you to do is to take an extra 5-10 minutes to explain why you want each of those things. So you're putting an emotion behind it. You're putting an action behind it. So I want to make $1,000 today. Why do I want to make $1,000? Well, if I had $1,000, then I could pay off this bill. If I had $1,000, I could treat my family and we can go out to eat and we can go do something fun. Or I can buy this new camera that I've really been like looking for. Or I can buy this anime collection that I've really wanted, right? It could be an array of different things, but you're putting emotion behind it. Or if you said that you wanted to cook one home-cooked meal for you today. The reason why could be I've been eating takeout for every meal for the past however long, and it'd be really nice for me to take a second to enjoy cooking and eat something that I've made myself. So whatever emotion that is tied to it also heavily influences, it almost like backs it up. It makes it real to you. Not even just writing it down, that makes it real as well, but you really putting that emotion behind it, you explaining why, really puts it in concrete. It seals it almost. So those are the 4 tips that I wanted to leave you guys with. And by working on these 4 tips, one, as a byproduct, will increase your self-confidence because you are talking more positively about yourself. You're not in that self-deprecating stance. You're able to start like the very, very most minimal, like digging up the dirt foundation of being able to be very confident in yourself. 2, you'll be able to manage your stress a little bit better, and you'll be more comfortable as a whole with your stress. So it's not that stress goes away, you just become better at dealing with the stress that comes along. So being stressed out about you not amounting to anything, you'll be more comfortable with the fact that this thought happened, I'm able to move from this thought, and I'm able to become better and work towards not being this thought. I am not living this thought. This thought is just a thought. We think a lot of things in the day, but in and out, boom, done, right? You are not what your thoughts are. And then 3, it'll increase your motivation, right? You're building up that positive loop in yourself. You're able to understand who you are a little bit. You're able to figure out why you are the way you are. Like, you can really second guess, like, do I really like this thing, or is that just because of so and so and so? Or like, what influenced that thought process for you? What influenced that liking? So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and go ahead and drop a comment for what videos you want to see next, what you would like me to maybe explain a little bit more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Like, subscribe, and peace.